All right, welcome back to the Roman Troll to Experience Show for July 15th, 2023 on a brutal Saturday in July, the first Saturday of July. So this is Levon Howard, the host, the CEO of Path to Greatness, the founder of Visionary Hours Cafe, um, host of Man Talk, co-LC partner of Hang with the Howards, and self-published author. So our next guest today is an extraordinary woman who has done extraordinary things for herself in the community and the young men and women that she has impacted over the years. She has done the work she has done. Her name, let's see, okay. Her name is Valencia Peterson. So she is a trauma competent professional and the founder, executive director of Open Door Abuse Awareness Prevention (ODAAP), a non-profit organization that endeavors to prevent all facets of violence, in particular sexual health and intimate partner violence through trauma-informed education to youth using the medium of sports. She is familiar with the effects of intimate partner violence and her experience has fueled a dedication to raise awareness about domestic violence, sexual assault prevention, and improving the lives and character and academic development of all youth. ODAP and Valencia has worked since 2014 to educate and build a character of young men through athletics. P.S. is a former football coach at Penwood High School, located in the suburbs of Philadelphia. ODAP serves schools in Pennsylvania counties of Philadelphia, Montgomery, and Delaware and Bucks, both at the high school and college levels. Trauma-informed coaching has been in focus since the pandemic. Valencia is a trauma competent professional, have been certified in the Lakeside Global Institute course for trauma for the last 4 years. Her mission is to serve through the love, being sensitive to the hardships of others. Peterson is a Peterson's ODAAP's work has been highlighted in various news broadcasts such as NBC 10, since ABC, HuffPost, The Philadelphia Inquirer, and most recently NBC Philly Live. The success of ODAAP has catapulted Peterson in being a keynote speaker and contributor to the curriculum. Some of which are listed below. She has spoken at TEDx Wilmington, California Coalition Against Sexual Assault, U.S. Olympic swimming coaches, for the Coalition of Domestic Violence, 2023 Philadelphia Coaches Clinic. She's a curriculum contributor to Coaching Boys to Men and the Red High School Kit. She is also certified in 30 sessions of trauma studies, such as neurosurgical model sports certification, applying trauma principles, trauma 101, deepening trauma awareness, understanding teens, enhancing trauma awareness, and has a capacity for applying trauma principles and understanding teens, to name a few. So let's welcome Miss Valencia Peterson.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing this afternoon?
Very well.
Very well. How was your week?
Good. Just busy. So like on.
Right. Thank you for joining us. I know there's a lot going on with our schedules and us being active for the community. So I just read your bio, very impressive bio. Because I'm very passionate about our youth being trauma informed as they are growing and developing into young men and young women. So before we dive into more in depth about that, who was Coach V, as it goes by you now, I see the screen name. Who was Coach V? Who was you growing up?
You said who was I growing up?
Yeah, who you were growing up?
Just a regular trying to make it through a survivor.
Okay. Survivor. Okay. So what was your life like going through high school, going to college and things like that?
Pretty basic. I think I went to college. I didn't go to college. I never went to college. I went to grade school. And I spent a lot of time in an all-boys school doing trades when I was growing up. They didn't have girls to be a part of trades. So I was probably one of girls in a room full of 600 boys.
Okay. Okay. All right. So What made you get to this work of being trauma informed? What made you start getting to this work and dive into trauma?
Because
Because
of
of
well,
well,
basically
basically
my
my
own
own
trauma,
trauma,
the
the
things that
things that
I've
I've
gone
gone
through
through
growing
growing
up,
up,
having my
having my
mother
mother
pass
pass
away
away
due to
due to
gun
gun
violence.
violence.
And
And
one of the
one of the
things I
things I
wanted to
wanted to
do
do
was
was
get in
get in
front of
front
the
of the
violence
violence
for
for
other
other
young
young
men
men
because
because
I'm
I'm
a
a
firm
firm
believer
believer
that
that
my
my
dad
dad
killed my
killed my
mom
mom,
didn't
didn't
wake up
wake up
that
that
morning and
morning and
decide to
decide to
do
do
that.
that.
There was a
There was a
lot
lot
that set
that
that
led
up
up
for
to
that.
that.
And I
And I
think
think
that
that
working with
working
my
with my
young
young
men,
men,
I
I
get
get
to
to
have an
have an
opportunity to get
opportunity to
in
get in
front
front
of
of
it.
it. Wow. Yeah, like, I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry to hear about your mom. Man, that's a big old deal. Look, I lost my dad when I was 3 years old, so I dealt a lot of trauma back then, growing up, and now I see the effects of it now as I got older. In my 40s now, so I've seen the effects of that and trying to combat that on a daily basis and trying to be healed from that. It's not easy thing. So
Mhm.
so because there's a lot of prayer, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment to work you're doing to try to eradicate that pain, trying to move forward on a regular basis.
Mhm.
So my next question is, it says you're founder director ODAAP. What made you start that?
Like
Like
before,
before,
I don't
I
know
don't
if
know
you
if
hear
you need
that
that
feedback. Do
feedback.
you
Do you
hear
hear
feedback
feedback
or you
or you
don't?
don't? Let me move myself. Let me move myself. Hold on. Let me move myself. So you go ahead.
Um, Basically, what made me start what I was doing, as I said before, I wanted to get ahead of the violence that happens due to people experiencing trauma. So I felt like my young men who um, maybe had experienced trauma themselves, because hurt people, needed an opportunity to understand themselves a little better in order to get ahead of whatever response, just natural knee jerk response they might have due to having been experienced traumatic events themselves. Basically, it just comes down to learned behaviors become normal, which really are abusive. So if I can give my young men the opportunity to see something different, then they will be different and do different than what they've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very powerful for you to be on the forefront of doing that, and start something for that for men, especially you using the vehicle of football, to help them and help. What made you decide? Okay, I'm doing all that, but why the focus on football and maybe not basketball or baseball or soccer, or boxing? Why football and not necessarily other sports?
Well,
Well,
you better
but
mute
mute
yourself because
yourself
I
because
hear
I hear
myself
myself
coming
coming
back
back
again.
again.
But
But
football, I love football. I love the aggression of football. And I love everything about it. But it was an aggressive sport and it was an opportunity to do violence prevention with an already aggressive stage. And a lot of young men who get into football are told to do football because they have anger issues. So I figured it was a great platform because of what it embodied in the aggression. And I had an opportunity to actually harness this aggression and show them how to turn it off and when to turn it on, because we do need aggression in ball. I mean, what's football without aggression? And not only that, I had a captive audience. Once a coach bought into my program and allowed me to be in their playbook, that meant that every week I got to be with these same boys. And after a while, my message every day getting in them, I started to see the effects of that in the young men we were working with, the changes in them and the different decisions they would make. Like I started to see the effect of this every week 15-minute thing. It really was powerful actually.
So for the sessions with the men that were on the football team at the football team, did you do sessions in their locker room, or did you like have like a classroom where all the men were there present and did your conversations with them? How those sessions go in terms of like the setting and things like that?
uh, I do. I say that my office is on the field. I will take a minute, get the guys to take a knee and do a session right there on the field. And in some cases, I may come into a classroom. In some cases, I'm in the locker room. I get it in where I can. I'm not picky. As long as I got their attention and I can make a point and use a teachable moment, I don't care where we are. But most of the time, I'm getting it in with my guys right on the field, literally on the field. And I work with a number of teams, right? So since I stepped down coaching at Penwood High School in 2000, what was that? 2021, I stepped down from coaching. I have been working with a number of different teams in the Philadelphia area. So I go to different fields and talk to different teams, all week long. I'll field today here, MLK there, MLTEP another day. Like I'm just on the field talking to my guys and then bringing them out to the events. Like right now, I'm in the middle of camp for my boys. So I'm bringing about 6 teams out to my camp. At my camp, we do trauma informed play therapy and all kinds of things to get the guys in a calm state of mind so that I could pour some deep stuff into them. And then throughout the season, I visit them throughout the week. So our kickoff is happening right now. I just finished with one team, Penwood, and I'm about to start off with the other 5. So you're catching me in between teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I catch you in between teams. So, so your main focus is high school young men. Do you focus on like middle school boys that play football, and also the babies that play football, like PWD football? Do you focus on them too, or not yet, or that's something you try and towards to as they get older, as you get the next step?
I'm starting to do a little bit of that, like with the leagues, like the 14U, the 15U. I'm doing some stuff with them, working with some of the coaches. Doing that kind of work. I'm also going to probably be working with Eastern University this year. So it's nice to be able to work with one college, mostly high school, not so much middle, but then some of these smaller leagues I'm starting to tap into, only because largely a lot of my coaches who actually coach high school ball end up doing these leagues and pulling me into their leagues. So that's how I'm starting to do that.
I think that's definitely wonderful. I think that's something that a lot of young men miss out on, is that trauma informed piece, and knowing how to combat their frustrations and aggressions on the football field. Because a lot of times, you just said a lot of them are angry based on stuff having life events, and we try to combat that in a positive way. So you come in and give them strategies they can use off the field, so they can be more better on the field. In terms of the aggression, and to learn how to control themselves and control their mindset and things like that. So, so my next question is all that for men. Do you see yourself in the future doing something for young women, in terms of them like playing sports, like doing basketball, more like soccer, volleyball, because a lot of women coming there are angry too. So, do you see yourself combating that? Maybe trying to go to the other young women doing sports as well?
Actually, I have a group called ICU, which is called Intentionally Caring and United, of about 121 girls on my roster right now. And basically, it's an after school program at Penwood High School where every Tuesday throughout the whole school year, I get together with an average to 60 to 90 women once a week, young girls in high school. So my high school group of girls, Intentionally Caring and United, they're a great group of young ladies and otherwise. And we meet every Tuesday during the school year. And again, it's either 60 to 90 girls in that room every Tuesday. And we're talking and covering different subjects such as self-worth, and we're covering subjects. Some of them play sports, some of them don't, and this came about because when I was doing football at Penwood, the girls were seeing me working with the boys, and they were very adamant about having something for themselves. And so they really insisted that I start something for girls at Penwood. And so that's what became of it. I've started ICU. So yeah, I got a great group of girls that's killing it in their own right. Great group of girls.
That's totally awesome. That's definitely a blessing. So do you see so okay in the future doing like I know you're doing with six high school boys right now, football wise. Like, do you see yourself doing like a clinic or kind of like a conference workshop series where all the athletes that play football in Philadelphia beyond the six schools you work with are invited to this session to learn about trauma informed um trauma informed because I can see like you're inviting all the students that play football to come out to this session or multi sessions or like a conference during the summertime as they are prepping for the football season. So, do you see yourself expanding in that role, getting more schools involved, so more of them can be involved and know about the service you're providing?
Uh, well, my camp that I'm doing now, I'll see about 200, maybe 250 boys just this month alone. I try to keep them separate because I'm working on each team as an individual team. As far as clinics and things like that, right now I do coaches clinics. Mostly I train coaches on how to coach young men, especially the coaches that I'm working with, because not only do I train them, I walk alongside of them. I do life with them in order for them to really hone in on that trauma informed application of the work that we're doing. Because my goal is to train them to be better coaches and kind of like recreate myself through the coaches that I work with. But I usually do coaches clinics right before the season starts. So my coaches come together and we do another session on trauma informed care, building them up, putting more tools in their toolbox, more plays in their playbook in a way of trauma informed care for our young men. But as far as getting all the teams together, I don't know if I'll be doing that. I mean, maybe I could. I haven't thought about it. But really, all I'm doing right now is I concentrate and I try to be very present with one school at a time because I find that to be a lot more less distracting and more concentrated on that team. I mean, one day maybe they all come together, who knows? But right now, I'm just doing team by team.
That okay? That's take one. So have you thought about like going forward as your org gets bigger and bigger, hiring more people that can maybe go to more schools that you maybe one day you can't be there, but someone your staff can be there doing the same thing that you're doing that already been trained by you about how to go about the session. So just so your organization will spread more. How you thought about doing that in the future?
Yes. As a matter of fact, two things are happening right now. My goal is to train the coaches that I'm working with to become ODAP advocates and that they actually end up running these same programs that I'm teaching them as I train them. That, like I said, reproducing myself with the coaches that I'm working with so that they go to another team and kind of like do what I'm doing. And then the other thing is we have a chapter of ODAP that started in Boston, and probably there will be more small chapters of ODAP all around. And the way that ODAP has been able to start strictly is because alumni, like one of my young men that I met in high school, is now an eighth grade teacher and a head coach in Boston. So obviously, and he was my vice president on my board. So obviously now he's the head football coach there in Boston. So right away, it's like a no-brainer. ODAP's in Boston now. So I'm going to be heading down to Boston to do a little workshop with the coaches he's working with and put some things in place so that the same thing we're doing in here in Philly starts to happen in Boston.
That's definitely a blessing that you're expanding to Boston because you have the board member there that's actually a football coach there in Boston. So that's definitely huge. Now the word's getting bigger. So and the importance of being trauma informed, especially for the young men and also the young women as well. So where do you see ODAP in the next maybe 6 months to a year from now?
Well, right now I am about to get ready for the premiere of A Hope That Lights the Way, which is a documentary that was done around some of the work here in Philadelphia being done to combat violence. And so on July the 28th, at I believe it's the Franklin Institute. The premiere of A Hope That Lights Away will be being shown to people who want to come out and see this movie. And I'm in it. My organization is in it. And the work that we're doing here in Philadelphia is being highlighted. So, to all who are watching this, I really encourage you to come out to the premiere of A Hope That Lights the Way. You'll see my organization in its full, activities here in Philly, but not only mine, many more, many more. There's a lot of great organizations in Philadelphia doing great work for our youth to combat gun violence. So I see us, continuing to work with a lot of young men, growing out in the sense that our coaches become advocates of ODAAP and spreading that way. I think this film that's going to highlight our work is going to get to reach farther, in the sense that it'll probably end up on Netflix and people will be able to see the work that we're doing here. And so I think that is going to help us to be expanding in a way that we probably didn't think we would, to be honest with you. So that's the kind of thing we're looking at right now, just patiently, step by step, training other people to do what we do, especially the coaches in particular.
Congratulations on you having doing being a part of the film. So
Yeah.
you said July 28th at
28th.
20. And so you know what time that is? Is there a fee for
It's,
that?
it's, it's not, it's 6 to 10. There's no cost, but you must RSVP because there's a meal involved. So you must RSVP. It's July the 28th, 6 p.m. to 10.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's definitely wonderful. That definitely hopefully I can see a flyer. I can just promote that in the community, because I think that's so important that we become trauma informed and know what's going on within ourselves in the community right now in Philadelphia going forward, and also it's been outside of Philadelphia as well, because the gun violence is really going crazy, and we need to provide safe avenues, safe spaces for our young men and young women. Talk about what they're dealing with on a daily basis. It's just help them address it while it's present in their psychic.
Right.
And not standing and sit in their brains until they get older and things like that. So, like I said, you do a lot. You do a lot. You do a lot of speaking, a lot of coaching. So, what does Coach V do with self care?
Ooh. Well, right now I'm going to be leaving in a short few minutes to spend the day with my husband, my family, and just spend some time with the family and just turn off the whole coaching thing and just be a wife and a mom type thing, and that to me is self-care, because that's the heart of everything. Without their support, I couldn't do what I do. So I'm just going to take this nice ride with my husband shortly and just be glad and just be present in that moment with him. That's what I'm going to do.
There's nothing wrong with that, and I definitely want you to enjoy your day, enjoy your afternoon with your husband and family. So, before we close, two more questions. What advice would you give to the younger Coach V?
The younger?
Mm-hmm.
The kind of advice I would give, that God is definitely worth trusting. And no matter what you see in front of you, God is bigger than that. That's the advice I would give the younger Coach V.
Amen. God's definitely bigger than that. Yeah, it's bigger than our situations, bigger than our problems, everything. So you just gotta trust God and let God do the rest. Don't try to do it for yourself, but let God do the rest regarding that. So, how we can find more information about you, ODAAP, and the service you provide. So where people go to for that?
Well, I'm on probably every platform. I'm on Instagram as ODAAP, ODAAPINC. You'll see some of the recent camp stuff we did on there, so I encourage you to take a look at that. We're on Facebook as Open Door Abuse Awareness Prevention. We are on Instagram as ODAAPINC, ODAAP Incorporated. And we have our own YouTube, which says ODAAP. There's a lot of ODAAs, but we're ODAAP as in Paul. So that's how you can find us.
All right, we'll definitely post on our platforms about how people find more information about you, the great service you're providing, and great work you are doing for the young men and young women in the community, especially for those who play football, because you're definitely saving lives and helping them out in immense ways, because about that service, those services you're providing, that mentoring, that coaching, so a lot of men will be in the space that they are in right now. So I truly commend you and thank you for the work you have done in your community over the years. Just being a light, being a positive light for the community. So I want you to enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
Have
you.
a safe trip and back with your family, and just enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for being a guest on the Woman Strong 2 Experience Show.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Bye-bye.
good one. Be safe.